Hi, it's Des of Peg and Des on Sons of Anarchy. This week's Academy Award goes to Tara. Before we get into it though, let's subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, and make sure to leave your comments about this controversial episode. This week's episode between Tara, Venus, and Tig being in love with Venus just had a lot going on. Before we get into those three though, I want to say I love the fact that this show always opens with great music that I typically don't listen to. Does anybody ever pay attention to that opening music? I'm always a fan. I feel like they find the most appropriate songs ever. Now, this week we see Jax calling for business ideas because of course the guys move into a candy shop of all places on a dead street in Charming, courtesy of the mayor. And it's tough because a lot of the business plans that the guys had are falling apart. They can't get Kara up and running. The whorehouse business is a problem because the whore madam is not excited about working with them anymore. There's too much heat. Nero is in prison. Guns are off the table. And the mayor says the development project that I was supposed to help you get with the construction work is just not going to happen. And on top of everything, the shop is shut down, the auto shop. So where the guys are going to get money, I have no idea. If they'll resort to panhandling and robbing homes, who knows? But Jax takes everybody upstairs into the remodeled boardroom and calls for business ideas. I was thinking they should open up that candy shop. But then again, selling candy doesn't compare to selling guns. So there's a lot for them to do to cover that spread. But anyways, we'll see what happens in terms of the business ideas that they put together. We really need to jump into Nero. Nero is my heart's cat daddy, okay? I love Nero in a place and time that is, I just love. Even in prison, eyes dark, hair messy, around all kinds of anal sex, I still love me some Nero. And when he was sitting with Gemma after CCH Pounder came in and gave him an offer that he did not accept at the time, although I'm wondering if Nero is going to actually accept that offer. He doesn't seem like he would do the snitching thing, but she hit him with, "Your son." And keep in mind, Nero's always said that everything that he does is for the kid. And we've seen him visiting the kid at the rehabilitation center. He wanted to buy a farm for the child. And so now the prospect of him being separated from this child, a child for which he says he's done so much in terms of the criminal life, you know, it may all go away. Although I don't quite believe, though, that everything that he does is for that kid. He probably could have bought that farm a long time ago or done something else with himself. Either way, Nero and Gemma. Nero finds out that Venus has visited, and Gemma tells Nero about the boy. I forget the boy's name right now, but she tells Nero about the boy, and Nero says, "You've got to get that boy away from Alice. You need to ask Jax for some assistance." So Gemma does what a dutiful wife does, gets Jax involved. I want to say that when I saw Tig see Venus, I wanted to crack up. It was the most adorable thing ever because Tig clearly is into that life and is very much attracted to Venus. I'm hoping that they actually create some sort of budding romance. But anyways, they head over to Alice's house and it's a catastrophe. Just the same way that there's always a problem. Every time the sons go and do something, there's a problem in this house. I was thinking that the MC is kind of like a version of the police. It is the police for the underworld. Granted, they're always in trouble themselves, but people go to them when they're having trouble. I mean, think about how they got in trouble with the Persians. It's because one of the wives or former wives came and asked for some help after being beat up. So the MC is like the underground police force. They ride out once again, causing havoc in Alice's home. Alice, we find out, is running a porn studio, a child porn studio. Child pornography is never anything that I've ever associated with women, and that's probably very narrow-minded of me because pornography, child abuse knows no gender. But part of it is just especially disgusting to me that a woman would be involved in something like that. I don't know if it's because of maternal instincts, because you give birth to children. I'm not sure what it is, but it was just so filthy that Alice was involved in child pornography. And we find them at the studio. Like, they all end up at the studio somehow, at which point Alice says to Venus a long speech about how your son, because the child is, after all, not her nephew, how your son is going to find out who you are and the lies you tell, and it goes on. And we really see that Jax is the one who this is all resonating with, right? As she keeps talking, Jax keeps crying, and he gets more and more upset at this woman telling Venus that you are a bad person, you lie to your children, you're not going to be anything to your children when they find out the reality of who you are, and then all of a sudden her head is blown off because Jax kills her. Now, Jax doesn't kill her because of the child porn. Jax kills her because he identified quite a bit with what she was saying. That hit really, really close to home. What does he mean to his boys? And I was wondering if Jax has thought about that independently, right? Because I always feel like he's so indignant about his behavior. This is what I have to do to keep my family together. This is what I have to do for the motorcycle club. This is who I am. This is how I was raised. This is what we have to do. But it's not. It's not. And even though we've heard him in previous episodes talk about ways to get out and to legitimize the business, he also legitimizes all of his behavior. You don't really hear a lot of him say, this isn't the right life, and then really follow through on that. I don't know. I'm not really sure with Jackson where his mindset is. He just seems like he does a lot of justifying in his behavior. But he killed old girl, and that's bad. Tara. I was not expecting it to go down like this. My expectation was that she was going to get all this paperwork in place and that she was going to file a restraining order, prove that Gemma is not a fit parent, prove that Jax is not a fit parent, and just get them out of the way. I would have never thought that she would have put on a caper like that. The blood in the bag, we knew she was pretending about being pregnant. We weren't sure how she was going to use it, but to use it to put Gemma in prison is crazy. Now, Wendy clearly knew what was going to happen because that's how she got Gemma there. So Wendy's in on the game too. What I wasn't sure of, though, is if the attorney knew how it was going to go down, right? I feel like the attorney did not know that Tara was planning to make that happen like that. Because remember, the attorney says, how are you going to get Jax to sign those papers? And Tara says, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. The attorney looked a little suspicious at the time, but after it happened, the attorney was just looking at looking at Tara like she was absolutely insane. And to a certain extent, she is. She is about to get Gemma locked up for who knows how long for assaulting her. And you can tell that she wanted Gemma to punch her, but then Gemma backed off. I thought it was so interesting that the one thing that Gemma has actually been consistent at, taking care of her children or her grandchildren and trying to take care of her family, is what got her locked up, right? Gemma has slapped any number of whores. She's fought any number of people. She has, pulled out as many guns. She's affiliated with the MC. She's the biker mother. She's all of these things, but she's always been a grandmother who cares about those kids to a fault. And now she's being locked up for killing one of them. And Jax signed the papers. I wasn't sure if he was going to do it. I wasn't sure. He didn't even take time to talk to Gemma first, which I thought was kind of interesting also. Then I was wondering, how come Jax doesn't find it suspicious that Tara has the papers right now, right? Paperwork from an attorney needs to be drafted, and she had it that day in the hospital. This could have happened, but over the matter of a few hours. So she has a restraining order filed. She has the papers about parental consent and being an unfit parent, and all that stuff is just nice, neat, stacked, and ready. I wasn't sure if Jax was just so emotional he wasn't thinking about that. I don't know. But Tara. I didn't think it was going to go down like that. I don't think that Gemma deserves that. I'll be the first one to say it. I don't think Gemma deserves that. Gemma deserves not to be around those children because she doesn't make good decisions when it comes to that motorcycle club and that lifestyle. Granted. Gemma is a hothead. Granted. But does she deserve to be locked up for killing a phantom child? No. No. And then it's interesting also how both Gemma and Nero are in prison for crimes they didn't commit. The lovers are in jail on some bogus charges. I don't know if Rockman Dunbar recognizes that Gemma should not be there. But did you notice as he was walking past the window and he was looking at her? Because Gemma's face was like she was in disbelief the entire time. I mean, as if she just could not believe that this was happening to her. But Rockman walked by that window and he gave her the side eye in a way that let me know that maybe he feels like something else happened. Rockman always has the juice. So I don't know if he'll come to her rescue or Nero's rescue. I just really hope that Rockman puts on his cape and saves the day. Well, that is, I think that's everything from this week's episode. It was a big episode. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen between Gemma and Tara. Let me tell you something. Tara better hope that Gemma does not get out of prison because any phantom baby that she thought she killed, she will kill the real Tara when she comes out. Double jeopardy. All right, that's it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to like this video and to check out our other videos on this channel. Have a great day.